welcome to Culture Daily.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much.
And definitely a pleasure to have you here. But we've been pondering since I got your project video what all this is about, because it's quite unique. We've had a lot of guests here and they're selling lyrics, they are selling dance, they are selling body, they are selling this and that. You are selling something totally different. Bro, where did this begin and what is this in a nutshell?
It's just two guys coming up with something similar and deciding to test the waters. Well, after being exposed to certain waters. So
what waters were you exposed to?
International waters.
International, the rave culture, the DJ scene, what?
Yeah.
The circuit.
So what's really pushing in the past like 2 years has been Afro House. It's been moving very well, right? It's been consumed on the continent and outside the continent. So if you're looking to reach certain places, these are some of the things you have to be on.
House, techno, electronic, Afro House, Amapiano. What's the difference?
It goes, what production would tell you what the difference is, but to the common ear, you might not.
You may not be able to tell the difference.
And also the consumer will decide exactly what it is. Somebody is solely in love with house, right? The difference between Afro House and house is like the Afro in the African influence in the production. But aside that,
so policeman, many men, takeover. Davido and Chris
Davido.
Brown.
No, so that's Afrobeat.
No, but you see, I have that instru. Like I've listened to the instru. And
Yeah.
the tempo is crazy.
Yes.
You see, it's a thin line.
Yes.
Me, when I was listening to that, my whole mind was that it's Afro House.
No. So that's Afrobeat.
No. As a producer, bro,
Yes.
where does the template start? When you're laying it, the samples out.
Yeah.
What do you add that defines it as Afro beat or
Afro House or house.
Right. So usually it depends, right? So with Afrobeats, you have the typical clap sound, the 5 pattern, pa 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 pa, or
actually.
you know, and it's very easy to tell the Afrobeats, the way Afrobeat sounds, right? But with Afro house music, it's more or less tapped from house music, which is the bass. So you're hearing a lot of the
so there's more of an
electronic feel to it. Exactly. But what makes it Afro house is the fact that there's a lot of Afro elements in there. So now you're hearing things like subs, conga, log drums, you know, everything just to ginger it and give it that electric feel that, you know, you usually have.
Those elements still exist in Amapiano.
They do.
That's where the thin line comes in.
It's a very thin line between Afro house music and Amapiano music, right? Because it's all from, the bass is Kwaito music, which is South African music, you know, so it's a very, very thin line. You need to have a certain ear to be able to, you know, decipher which song is an Afro house record and an Amapiano record.
With all these nuances,
yeah,
what pushed you or what inspired you to jump on this? Apart from your exposure to what's going on in the world, because I know Europe is big on electronic music, all these Afro house, techno, it's the biggest thing. But what, being Ghanaian, you know, looking at the market, looking at the space, I know the world is digital and connected and all that, but what pushed you to say this is what we're going to do to cut out and be different?
Well, I'll say from the beginning, it's like Eddie said, Afro House is what's, you know, really moving the scene right now. Everywhere you go, you're definitely hearing at least 2 or 3 Afro House records, and people love it. And personally, between Eddie and I, we love Afro House music. So it's literally records that we will really leave on our hard drives or play with our friends. But we decided, this has potential to actually touch people and give them the feel that we also enjoy when we're listening to it. So that's the basis for which we put it out. Let's reset music.
Okay.
You know,
reset music.
Reset music. Like you said, when you're in the gym, that's the kind of music you listen to reset your mind, activate yourself. You know, so keeping it to ourselves is selfish. Right. And as a creator, you're creating, and you're creating for people to feel what you're creating as well.
For those who don't get all the technical jargon we're throwing around, what's a popular Afro house song or an Afro, reference song so that they get the idea. Because what I sang, a lot of people will not typically put it at the Davido, and a lot of people might not put it at as Afrobeat. Sensational. A lot of people will say that's Afrobeat, but that's not. That's also not Afrobeat.
Yeah.
So the word Afro as a prefix has like 10 billion suffixes. Afro soul,
Afro swing,
this,
Afro,
Afro that.
Yeah.
What is a good Afro house reference that we might get, that AC might get, that Lenny might get off the top?
So it is all you.
Yeah, I would say you know Isaka.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a
But
perfect
the thing is,
Afro house.
Isaka is also
3-step.
on the vibe of 3-step,
Okay.
and that's more of the direction to our first song on the Money Dance project. So this sound developed like I'll say 2 years ago, where you have like a 3-step pattern. That's how come the name came. 3-step, pa pa pa. It's in there, right? And it's like a subgenre under Afro House, where now instead of the continuous bass going, you now get it in 3 steps. Yeah, so Isaka is like an example that everybody no boom boom boom. It continues like even if you listen to Money Dance, you get that timing pa pa pa, and that's 3 steps. That's like it came out in South Africa.
Okay.
Right.
Money Dance, interesting name. What's the creative direction behind it?
Money Dance. You see, so you said when you listen to it, you were like it's something you listen to in the gym, right? There's something you listen to when you're making money.
Ish.
Yeah. Literally.
Okay.
You know, it
The
puts
title
you,
track of the entire
Yes.
If it makes some bank sponsor you.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure. For sure.
But those of us who are hustling, they won't listen to it.
Oh, so it's your reason to listen
That's
to
your
it.
thing.
Your
Yes.
thing to listen
That's
to.
to
listen to it. Yeah.
Why didn't you throw some artists on there? I
Yeah,
know what
I
you're
was
gonna
going
say.
to ask
I know. Okay,
that,
well then ask. Then go ahead.
Yeah.
So why a project without vocals? Just beats?
So me personally, I like to do things different. I like to test things and find out how things will work. Now, per my experience, putting music out, having artists, agreements, back and forth, it's just too long, right? And I'll give you an example. There's a Money Constant. There's some Money Constant. It was dropped 3 times, or like the song has 3 different singles with the same exact thing. First was Dry Wave, the beat itself. It came out, made it waves. Then a guy from Tanzania, I think, Jiva, did have a version on it. Made sense. And now Wizkid and Marvel also did something on it. So I was like, okay, then why wait for artists to come on board, do record, go back and forth with managers, do all these struggles, do all these things before putting it out? We have something that we think can stand on its own, so we can put it out. At the end of the day, if somebody wants to be on it, we can do a re-release. Do you get me? So instead of just sitting down on the file waiting for artists to agree on whatever percentage, blah blah blah, you're like, just put it out there.
So you're putting the inspiration out there,
Yeah.
and taking a more reactive approach to partnering.
Yes.
Now, the Isaka reference you made, I want us to listen to it, just so that moving forward with the questions, we have a
Idea.
reference.
oral or an auditory
Yeah.
understanding. So if that's up, let's check it out briefly and get into the vibe of what Afro House is all about.
It's in there.
Okay, so that's in there. Now, this is also a question I'm going to throw out there, right? Are there enough artists you think who would dare to jump on this? Because this takes it a lot away from people's comfort zones.
Yeah, but if we really want to be out there, and looking at it, the direction the song wants to go, you have to.
You have to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
challenge yourself.
100%. And like, just to add to what AD said about the reason why we decided to put out just the instrumental, as a producer or as somebody who fully understands the commercial viability of records, putting out the instrumental as a record on its own and then later on doing like a deluxe version gives you more commercial viability for the record, because you make money from the initial release, which is the streams, and then you also make
deluxe.
exactly. So Money Dance being a record that has just instrumentals. It's also so people can really feel the music, because a lot of times, even with artists, it's 70% of the beats that people are enjoying. So there's actually a demand for people dropping a lot of instrumental records, and for Afro House, a lot of the Afro House records start off as instrumentals. You don't really need vocals on there for it to be an Afro House record. So yeah, just wanted to add to that.
How has the feedback been, being that we are not entirely used to these type of instrumental heavy songs?
It's been amazing. Just the day after, 83 a crazy party at Enzo, and the feedback
played it.
It's crazy.
It was crazy. And before that, I've been testing the song.
Exactly.
And anytime I test it, somebody try and shazam me, and they're like, Eddie, I know they get a song. I'm like, oh, they out here. Don't worry, like we'll be out soon.
Okay.
Yeah. And even just this morning, I put it out, and one DJ hit me up, said, "Oh, can you send me the link to download it?" Yeah. I did, and he was like, "Yo, the money dance be hard."
Yeah.
So
and just to bust your mind, this record's been sitting on a hard drive for more than 2 years.
Yeah.
You guys always do that.
Always.
Always.
Before hoarding it,
Yeah.
how did you get about to creating it? What was the process?
So it started off from my end. Obviously, I put the basis down. Initially, it didn't sound like this. It was a pure Afro House record, like a Black Coffee record, right?
Shout out to Black Coffee.
And I was just thinking to myself, I have so much good music sitting on a hard drive that needs to actually be heard. And my team were just thinking about the best way to put it out. And I've always been, out seeing AD do his thing as well. And I know how much he likes the Afro House scene as well. So I hit him up. I was like, bro, I have some records. Let's link up in the studio and see what we can make out of it. So we linked up in the studio. He heard the initial version. Actually, I sent him a link before coming to the studio. So he had heard it, vibed to it a little bit. We got to the studio, and he literally changed the whole architecture of the record, right? So he gave me the reference. Let's try the 3-step, because he's a DJ. He knows what's going on grounds. So I value that feedback, took that feedback in, and we ended up coming back to the studio again, working on it, listening to the final versions, and we made about 7 different records and just picked the top 3 for the project. So we do actually have quite a large catalog.
When is the other 4 coming?
At the right time.
Let's see how this is going to do. Then we'll probably drop like a 4
what's the entire plan for the money dance?
Yeah, taking it as far as it could go.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, I had a party over the weekend when it dropped.
But let's talk about that later.
But this week, my focus is to spread it as far as I can to all the DJs as summer is approaching, trying to take it everywhere, because you have no excuse to not play this.
Right.
Do you understand? It could be played here, South Africa, Europe, everywhere, because of how it's built. Like, so I'm about to push it to most of my friends, like DJ friends.
What about collaborations with other creators in the space?
Yeah, it's open.
Do you have anything in the pipeline, or?
Yeah, I mean, just to touch base on collaborations. I mean, even with the artwork that you're seeing, it's a collaboration that we did with an artist called Heriath, right? And we definitely had like you rightly identified, we are taking a different approach to how we put out music. So we didn't want the generic cover art, design. So we wanted something that would tell a story, right? So with the money dance, you can tell there's the typical traditional influence of money being sprayed during cultural events. Here in Ghana, Nigeria, it's a common thing that we find here in Africa, and it's the kind of feeling that you get when you listen to the record. You're in a good spirits, and that's the basis for which we wanted to go with this kind of direction. So I shared the idea with the artist called Heriath, and this is what he came back with. So it's the power of collaboration. Within the creative space, you share somebody a piece of yourself, and then they come up with something amazing. So audio work that's AD and I have put together was given an artistic world by Heriath. So that's one of the main collaborations for the project.
It's really nice, the artwork. It stands amazing. Out, it's very colorful, very artsy, very catchy.
Yeah, we wanted something that you definitely see and you would want to hear what to say.
Remember as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Since I received it yesterday, I can identify it.
100%. 100%.
Stands out.
Yeah.
What, how do I say this? What's the end goal, apart from doing the circuit, letting the songs pop and all that. I see a lot of artistic expression between the two of you. You seem to be more focused on art than just putting out music. I mean, the intentionality of the artwork, the style and of production, even where you intend to place it. Do you see yourself as Ghanaian musicians still with all this focus? Because it's like you are not showing any pressure or any mindset towards conforming to what the local narrative
at all
is. Okay.
I think the answer is pretty simple. I mean, good music stands for itself. Good art stands for itself. And if you look at the market right now, it's very saturated. Everybody wants to do music. Everybody's dropping music.
Is tired.
So the only thing that makes you stand out is the quality of your work, right? So the end goal is releasing music that lasts beyond us as creatives. We're Ghanaian. All our influences are inspired by our Ghanaian roots, and so we do identify as Ghanaian creatives, but the fact that we have a better appreciation for the art behind the music doesn't mean we don't, value our Ghanaian roots. 100% representing Ghana everywhere we go. AD has played internationally, always pushing the bounds of Ghanaian music across the borders of Ghana. So it's something that we're very proud of. I mean, I don't think I would have liked to be any citizen besides Ghanaian, because 100%.
Resume politics.
No, not at all. No, at all. Because if you listen to
I'm just questioning your resolve.
Yeah.
With regards to the inevitable climb that you have to climb with this.
100%.
Like I said, people sit in that seat all the time, and a lot of people sit in the position of comfort. Afrobeats is popping, so I also joined the line. You guys came in you're not even in the Afrobeat room.
No.
You are in a totally different room. Yeah. From what I know, it's just the two
global.
of you in that room trying to take something global. Are you ready for the uphill climb? Because it's going to be uphill, right?
If you look at it, we kind of box ourselves in when we want to put some labels and certain limits to certain things. And Afrobeats is international, but this is music that everybody will listen to, regardless of wherever they stand. You get me? So those are
global identity, global sound.
100%.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why we work on something like this instead of doing a generic thing. And he's put out some generic stuff. I put out some generic stuff. And this time around, we are like, okay, let's push the boundaries. Let's challenge ourselves. Put it out there. And having an artist on is not only Ghanaian. Also, we are thinking international. So it could be anybody.
South African, Rwandan, anybody.
First one, sweet voice.
100%.
100%.
No. I'm personally not a big fan of plenty lyrics. That's one of my biggest issues with music that comes from here. And I don't know why, but I don't know. People are not paying attention.
So Shakespeare's.
People are not paying attention, but what goes out and what's being played the most is very little message, but it's direct message.
Especially in recent times.
Yes,
right?
it's direct message, very simple, very short. You are not telling people are. Anyways.
Yeah,
we understood. I mean, it's been great having this conversation, and I think you're a breath of fresh air, especially for a Monday morning. 100%. It's definitely different and reminds all of us to challenge the narrative and do things that inspire us and drive our passion. We wish you the best. I think I myself am very excited to see where this will go. Like I said, when I get to the gym, this is the kind of thing I listen to. So consider me a fan. I'm going to some 200 streams is from my side.
Confirm.
2,000
I go check for the gym. Then I go finish it. Everything set. I beg you, challenge. But Afrobeats, AD, DJ, you guys have been great this morning. It's been definitely insightful looking into your heads and picking out your global perspectives, especially with sound. And I hope that a lot more people jump onto this. And I think we here will definitely be in support. I mean, even on the channel alone, we have a lot of segments, audio layovers and stuff, and we'll definitely find a way to plug you in there.
Thank you very much.
But I think I would love to hear an artist on it and see how it goes.
Say blow, after the blow, the artist.
And it has no potential.
So guess what? An artist will hear this and be like, why no artist they on? No, AD.
Yeah,
and we are very open to it. Like all 3 songs, we're very open.
It's like
to
what happened with the I forgot YBDLMD.
Yeah. Da-na-na.
All of them then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just the beat. And
Yes.
look how
Yeah.
people inspired.
Yeah.
you
across
jump
the
on
globe.
it.
So yeah, you've got something there, Charlie. Keep pushing.
Thank you
It's
very
been
much.
lovely having you. Let's get the Isaka back there so that we can remind ourselves exactly what that 3 boom 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 bass hits are while we transition here. It's been AD, DJ, and of course Siri Beats here. It's been our morning by conversation. We'll be learning more about Afro House right here on Culture Daily.